Look, I have had this on my mind all week regarding Chris Olave and his future with the New Orleans Saints. General Manager Mickey Loomis is officially working on a contract extension for our star wideout as he enters the final year of his rookie deal. This is massive because it hinges on balancing Olave's elite production against his recent injury concerns. This situation comes down to two things: the financial reality of the deal and what this means for our long-term offensive identity. The deeper you look into this, the more there is to unpack. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let us know your name and city below. Let's break it down. The New Orleans Saints are moving to secure wide receiver Chris Olave long-term as he enters the final year of his rookie contract. Drafted 11th overall out of Ohio State in 2022, Olave has quickly become our most reliable target, posting a career-best season last year with 100 receptions, 1,163 yards, and 9 touchdowns. On Tuesday, July 28th, General Manager Mickey Loomis expressed optimism about reaching an agreement, noting that the star receiver has stayed committed by participating in voluntary off-season workouts without holding out. And honestly, this news brings a sense of relief to a fan base that values his consistent production of 90 catches and 1,152 yards per 17 games played. However, the negotiations are complicated by his recent injury history, specifically multiple concussions and a scary season-ending blood clot in his lung. Loomis admitted these medical concerns are active elements in the contract talks. While the team plans to pair him with quarterback Tyler Shough and newcomer Jordan Tyson to bolster the passing attack, the financial side remains a massive hurdle. We are all breathing easier knowing the team is projected to have $49 million in cap space by 2027, which makes a lucrative raise much more feasible. Despite the optimism, many of us are left wondering if the organization is truly prepared to pay a premium for a player whose physical health remains such a precarious, lingering variable. If the medical staff has reservations about his long-term durability, does a massive contract extension actually protect our future? Or are we locking ourselves into a high-stakes gamble that could derail our salary cap flexibility for years to come? The most surprising reality regarding this extension is that the front office is weighing Chris Olave's long-term future against a documented history of health complications that complicates his market valuation. While we all admire his on-field production, the team must balance his 1,163 yards and 9 touchdowns from last season against the sobering reality of multiple concussions and that scary blood clot in his lung. This is where it gets real because the organization is forced to reconcile his undeniable talent with the physical risks that could impact his longevity in New Orleans. Historically, our front office has been cautious with long-term financial commitments when injury patterns emerge. Yet they recognize that consistency is a rare commodity in this league. Behind closed doors, Kellen Moore and the coaching staff are likely debating how much they can rely on a receiver who has already faced such significant medical hurdles during his short tenure. They want to avoid the pitfalls seen by other franchises that overpaid for reliability they ultimately did not receive. The strategy centers on securing a pillar for quarterback Tyler Shough while keeping our future financial flexibility intact, especially with that projected $49 million in cap space available by 2027. It is a delicate dance between rewarding a standout performer who has remained present at voluntary activities and protecting Gayle Benson's resources against unforeseen health setbacks. We are looking at a pivotal crossroads where loyalty meets hard-nosed business logic. The team is trying to avoid the uncertainty of free agency while ensuring the passing attack remains potent for years to come. Ultimately, they hope to finalize this deal before the situation becomes any more complicated for everyone involved. So that is the news itself, but now let us peel back the layers to understand what this contract situation truly means for the future of our franchise. The part fans are not ready for is how these negotiations balance Chris Olave's incredible talent against the very real medical history that Mickey Loomis described as key elements in the current talks. This matters right now because securing our primary weapon is essential to supporting quarterback Tyler Shough as we shift toward a more aggressive offensive identity under Kellen Moore. By locking in a core player who averages 90 catches and over 1,100 yards per 17 games, we stabilize the wide receiver room alongside promising rookie Jordan Tyson. Financially, the outlook is bright, as the projected $49 million in cap space for 2027 provides the necessary breathing room to afford a substantial raise without gutting our depth elsewhere. Looking ahead, this reliability will be the difference in tight matchups against divisional rivals who are constantly looking to exploit any cracks in our passing game. If we can keep our offense on the field and maintain this level of production, our chances of clinching a playoff spot improve drastically, especially when we face off against tough opponents throughout the final stretch of the season. We are building a foundation that relies on stability, and keeping Olave in black and gold ensures we have a true centerpiece for years to come. By handling this business now, we avoid the distraction of free agency uncertainty and keep the focus entirely on winning football games during this pivotal year of transition for the New Orleans Saints. Securing Chris Olave for the long term is a foundational move that ensures our passing attack remains potent for years to come. By locking in a receiver who produced 100 receptions, 1,163 yards, and 9 touchdowns last season, we provide quarterback Tyler Shough with a reliable target while utilizing our projected $49 million in 2027 cap space. Think about it this way. Keeping a proven playmaker who averages 1,152 yards per 17 games offers much-needed stability for Kellen Moore as he refines this offense. However, we cannot ignore the legitimate risk attached to this potential contract extension. Mickey Loomis has been transparent about the concerns surrounding Olave, specifically his medical history involving multiple concussions and a challenging blood clot in his lung. While some around the league argue that these health elements justify a more cautious, incentive-heavy approach, others believe his commitment to team activities and positive presence weigh just as heavily as his stats. I find the narrative that these injury concerns should stall a deal to be slightly overblown, as his consistent production on the field remains a rare commodity in this league. Here's where I land on this. We must pay the man. While the injury history is a factor that any smart front office must weigh, his talent is simply too significant to let walk away when we are finally trending toward financial flexibility. If we pass on him now, we are essentially throwing away a top-tier talent before he reaches his prime. And that is a gamble this team should not be willing to take despite the inherent medical risks involved in professional football. When you take the latest updates on Chris Olave and combine them with our long-term team vision, the path ahead for the New Orleans Saints becomes quite clear. The organization is betting heavily on core talent to provide stability under Kellen Moore, signaling a shift towards sustainable growth rather than quick fixes. This focus on retaining Olave, despite his injury history, shows we are prioritizing proven production and loyalty as we build around Tyler Shough. Here is where it gets interesting as we look at the financial flexibility projected for 2027. With a projected $49 million in cap space, we are positioned to pay our stars while integrating newcomers like Jordan Tyson into the passing attack. As fans, we should feel optimistic about this direction because Olave has shown remarkable consistency, averaging 1,152 yards and 6 touchdowns per 17 games, while demonstrating the professional character of a true leader. His commitment to voluntary off-season work despite the contract uncertainty is exactly the type of culture we want to foster as we build a contender. The management is balancing the risks of his health against his high-level output, and that balanced approach should instill confidence that this front office is making calculated, smart decisions. It is encouraging to see the team securing its future assets before they hit the open market. Do you believe the Saints should prioritize a long-term deal for Chris Olave right now despite the health concerns mentioned by Mickey Loomis? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Who dat? I'll see you in the next one.